Hey guys, welcome back to Samojo Homestead. I'm Jeremy. Cass is missing in this video. If you guys have been wondering why she's been in videos a little bit less, it's because she took a job, a part-time job. So she hasn't been around quite as much during some of these filming sessions, but that's all going great. Today, we are moving mulch. We did chip drop and I've tried it in the past, never had anything show up, but we got some this week right here behind me. So we're gonna be putting that down in the rows that are already established in our garden. The part of the garden that we did not plant for winter is going to be laid out a little bit different. So we've still got to kind of get that set up before we can get anything over there and get rows established. But we do have plenty of rows to get mulch down in to really help suppress those weeds and to start putting some good stuff and bacteria back into the soil. Chip Drop, great resource. No, they're not an affiliate or anything like that. I just believe in them. I did find out this time that you can make a donation or choose to make a payment if they bring you chips. Now, you're not going to get charged until that drop is made, but I will say that we got these chips in under a week from the time that I put in the request, and I did a $20 donation. Basically, what I found out is that it's costing these tree companies $20 every time they use Chip Drop to take a load somewhere. Now, that is cheaper than it would cost them to have to dispose of those chips or have them sit on their lot piling up and accumulating. So it does still benefit them, but they do get to choose who they're taking the chips to, and it is made known that if you're willing to pay for them, then you will get priority, and I do believe that after this experience. One thing I want to talk about is the difference between wood chips and mulch. Now, mulch is going to be 100% just wood, all the green taken out of it. It's also going to be a little bit finer. You just don't get quite the range of material in mulch, and so the reason that's a problem is, one, it's going to take longer to break down. Two, it's all carbon material. When you have too much carbon, it's going to bind up the nitrogen in your soil, because carbon requires nitrogen to break down. They work together, but when you're introducing a ton of brown material or carbon material, then what it's going to do is absorb nitrogen, because that's what it takes to break down that carbon, and it's going to pull that out of your soil. So you could end up creating like a nitrogen deficiency in your soil until all of those wood chips break down. Once they break down, it's going to release it back in your soil. You're going to have nitrogen back in your soil, and everything's going to be fine. But until then, you could create a disastrous problem. Wood chips have all of that other material in there. Now, this time of year, yeah, there's not going to be leaves on the trees, so you are very much limited in the green. There is some green in this pile that we got, and so I'm hoping that's enough, but we're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. We are just mainly using it in the rows. While I can pull it out of the soil, I am trying to keep it away from the plants. That is why you want wood chips and not mulch. Also, wood chips are way cheaper than mulch, so don't go buy mulch. Don't waste your money on mulch. The other perk is, check this out. It is much cleaner looking, much nicer looking, and it does a great job of keeping the weeds down. And again, feeding your soil in the long term. So that's what we're doing this year instead of the wheat cloth. So I need to get back to work. So these wood chips down here below me have actually been down for not quite a year, but you can see that they've already begun to break down like a good bit and have really started composting down. There's also a ton of roots if we go through and rake this up. that are growing through that. So they're really beneficial. One thing I did want to mention also, another benefit to wood chips is that they help to regulate your moisture levels. So if there's too much moisture in the soil, they'll actually draw it out of the soil and hold it. And then when the soil starts to dry out, they begin to release that back down into the soil. So it is a great moisture regulator for your plants. The other thing that you can do with wood chips, raw wood chips like these, is start or just create a compost pile. These things break down into really rich, good compost. And so anything extra that you have, or maybe you just get them just solely for that reason, leave them piled up. You can turn them if you want. It's obviously going to speed up the breakdown process, but you could just leave them piled up and basically ignore them. We did that when we first started getting chips, and in the middle of the pile, after a couple, I don't know, about a month or two, it was already really starting to break down. If you are on property that doesn't really have a lot of debris or creating enough debris to where you can, start a compost pile, do a compost pile, whatever it may be, this is a great option for you. And again, for 20 bucks to kickstart or even to create your own compost, that's not a lot. That's a good deal. So finished editing the video and then realized I never did a sign off. So hope you guys have a great week and be blessed.